Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmutcoins.com. Avoid the packs, save the racks. Link in the description below. Use code CC for 15% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here today talking about abilities. Okay, yeah, abilities. Okay, we're gonna be talking. Let's just roll into the video. Okay, you can do all the stuff, the YouTube stuff. Let's just roll into it. Okay, so abilities. Last year, Men 20 run the game. This year, not as much. And I think that's a good thing. All right, they obviously still have some which are good and some which are bad, and there's still some abilities that I think shouldn't be abilities. Not that they should go away, but that they should just be inherently in the game. Think of Hot Route Master. All right, I just think that certain things should matter. I think stats should just matter, but they don't. So that's why we're here. Let's talk about abilities. It's gonna yeah, let's just talk. So on your offensive line, a lot of people obviously are running Edge Protector, right? Edge Protector is used to protect against edge threat. Right, that is something we all know. Let's take a look at like Walter Jones here, right? So Edge Protector is used against elite edge rushers, which is AKA that, right? Fool me once, I haven't used, right? These blocking resistance and these pass rush blocks and block shedding blocks and resistance, we're still really learning it, right? So I think at a certain time we may come back to some of these, right? Lifeguard, that's for user rushes. Polar Elite, hey, you know what? It does work, but I don't think it's worth it. Even though it's 1 AP, if you had maybe 1 AP, you run a lot of 1 trap or something. Cool. Unspun, again, I don't think that this is necessarily a thing. Natural talent, begin the game with block resistance. Okay, I guess. No. You know, and these other ones where you're doing this. So Tough Nut could be a thing. Your blocker resistance points are going to give you better potential blocks right there. But again, we don't really know how that all works. And the rest of these as well. Now, Screen Protector does work very well. Post Up definitely helps in those situations when you get the double team. They're not going to get away from the double team. And the Post Up is actually not a bad thing you could have in the game. For the way that the meta is for a lot of people who pass rush, they send like 1 or 2 people, maybe 3 people, right? So generally you're going to have 2 double teams going on, especially on the outsides. So post up is not the worst thing to have there. In that case, obviously we can't really get it all the time here. Nasty Streak, I haven't been able to use yet. Secure Protector, again, haven't been able to use. Identifier is obviously okay. And Threat Detector, actually, to me, it has a purpose, right? Threat Detector has a purpose. But for offensive line, most people use Edge Protector or nothing. I think that's probably the way to go right now. For tight ends, the way a lot of people play with their tight ends is using crossing routes, right? Medium-sized routes. So for me, adding tight end apprentice was obviously such a big key for me. Red zone threat does work, but I don't think it's super hard. Closer, no. Slotomatic, again, no. For here, reach for it is totally overrated. Everybody reaches for it. These route running ones, they're okay. You know, but I haven't won a game or lost a game because I've had them or haven't had them. I'll say that. Energizer, no. Matchup Nightmare, again, it still is okay. It's still okay, right? And again, you should use Matchup Nightmare according to how the meta of the game really is playing. This is versus linebackers. Ain't nobody using linebackers. Keep going, right? So again, Leapfrog has its own thing for running backs, not for tight ends. Armbar, Bulldozer, blah, 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 blah. Slot Apprentice, Outside Apprentice for receivers. Obviously, Route Technician is really good, especially on receivers who do not hit the route running thresholds. Route running thresholds being 90. So deep route running at 90, medium route running at 90, short at 90, etc., etc. So that's how that works. Tank haven't been able to use. Playmaker haven't used. And Route Apprentice is just from everywhere. So for tight ends, for me, the only thing I would really be putting on is Tight End Apprentice personally. I know some other people like some other stuff, but to me, the ability point cost and where you could use points elsewhere, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, so that's where we're going here. For running backs next, I want to look at Reggie Bush in particular because the receiving backs get the best ones for me. So Energizer, again, I could see why people would like it. Combine it with Leapfrog so you can journal and not fumble, but they sort of tone that down. Reach for it again, not needed. Slotomatic here, Route Technician, don't really need that on a running back. Apprentice, okay, that's 2 AP. But Backfield Master is 1 AP. It feels like it's wrong. Right? It feels like it's wrong. Backfield Master is definitely the best one. You can get that with Reggie Bush. So here, like, we'll just tier 3 him right now. So like you can get where is it? I saw it. Backfield Master, 1 AP, right? When I'm training. But that's obviously the way to go. That's why receiving backs are really good here. Because jukebox and all that, I don't think it's great this year. Maybe some people really have it for a really good reason on their team, but to me, I've tried it. I didn't notice much with it. Same thing with Evasive here. Same thing with Bruiser or Bulldozer. I don't really notice those things at all. So for me, running backs, Backfield Master is the only one I really would be using at this time, personally. You know, that's me. Quarterback. A lot of people like their quarterbacks. Now, Pass Lead Elite out of like the Field Generals is really, really good. Okay? Let's just say that Pass Lead Elite is really good. You know, it just is. It just is, right? Roaming Deadeye, obviously, is still better than Dashing this year. Threat Detector, I get why someone would want to use it, but 3 ability points is just too much. Gift Wrap, it does work. I can confirm it works. But again, 2 ability points, I don't know. Escape Artist at 3 ability points feels overpriced to me. I know people do still run it and still use it. It's not necessary this year, which is a great change, which is why I don't use it. I don't even use any abilities on my quarterback right now. The extenders and all this stuff, they're fine. Quick Draw, I didn't find any real use with Quick Draw personally when I used it. Safety Valve, again, is not terrible, but I think I could use that elsewhere. Same thing with Tied Out. I think I could sort of use that elsewhere. But Fearless, I think, is really good because you get so much pressure in the pocket staying there from people using under pressure. But it's 3 ability points. It's a lot. So if I had 3 points, I would probably throw Fearless on some of these guys. No Look Deadeye, again, just use Roaming. Gunslinger, again, Pass Lead Elite. If you can get it on certain players can't. And then obviously Heart Master would be the best one. I would 100% use this right now on Vic if I could get it. And Dashing is one that I would not be using, even though, like we say, Vic here can't get it. That's what I do. So Pass Lead Elite is worth it. For the Field Generals, they just have the better ones. I think a lot of people, they do use Roaming still, which is fine. I get why you would use Roaming. I'm more in the pocket this year, so I'm not using it. Escape Artist as well is good, but it's not necessary. Okay? If you're on the fence about Escape Artist, play some games with it and play some games without it and come back. And we get to receivers. Route Runners are the best archetypes this year, I think, for the abilities they get and stuff. So your Reggie Waynes, Jerry Rice, Julio Jones, those guys, because so many of these things are 1 point. Slot Apprentice is 1 point. That's huge. That is huge. And I love having an apprentice receiver or 2 out there. It's just necessary. Again, I've tried these deep in elites. I guess they're okay. Outside Apprentice, again, just depending where you put your receiver, you could use them there. No problem. And then Route Technician as well. Route Technician should only go on receivers who are not meeting those route running thresholds for you. As the year goes on, if you're watching this in, say, November, don't ever worry about Route Technician. Everyone's going to be fine. It makes a bad receiver better, but it doesn't make a good receiver better. You know what I mean? You're following me here? So that's just what I use. Some people use Slotomatic as well. I think that has its own merit. But to me personally, I don't. I don't use it at all. That's on offense. What I used, right? I would specifically be avoiding reach for it, though. I have seen people use it. Don't use it. There's no point. When we get to defense, we've really got 2 levels here that we're going to look at. I am trying Secure Tackler out right now. I'm trying it. Okay? I don't know if it is where it is. When we get to these short route KO, medium route, flat zone, deep zone KOs, they do a little bit, but they don't do a lot of it. Okay? That's just the facts, right? Bench press, we obviously know really works. The AP on it's going to be changed, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, it's probably 3 or 4. It would be my guess where it falls. Pick artist, not worth using. Stonewall, I would use this, but everyone falls forward. So hoping to use one guy. Maybe if you have one consistent user all game and you're really good at blowing up the run, Stonewall will be really good on them. After that, no. Check out. Don't use this one. It doesn't do anything. Acrobat is really good. It's really good for 1 AP. It's really good. It's not a great ability, but for 1 AP, I'm using it. So again, these mid zone, deep in zone, they do play a little bit better. They do not a ton of it better. They're more like, I feel like they more get you to the 90 zone if you're not at 90 zone. If you have 90 zone, don't use these. That would be my take. Unfakeable. People aren't really getting faked out, let's be honest. Tip drill. Again, a lot of times the passes that are tipped up in the air are caught regardless. The only times they're not going to be caught is when there's like 3 or more people around. That's a collision part of the game. This might not fully help it at all, because a lot of times if it hits someone in the hands, they probably catch it more often than not, at least 50% of the time. But I don't know. Out of my way, as useless as could be, I had it on Steve Atwater, and I played him at cornerback, and to see if he was going to blow up some of these runs, these stretches and stuff that people were going to the outside, and he was just getting bodied with Out of My Way. So that sucks. Out of My Way is bad. One step ahead. It's okay. It's okay. It's really expensive at 3 ability points. I don't think it's worth it. Obviously, we shouldn't use these. Lurker does help. It's pretty good, but as long as you're not using a linebacker, I don't think you need it, because you can get to a lot of balls. Film study doesn't even exist in the game yet. Enforcer does not cause fumbles. It causes hit sticks, and hit sticks don't cause fumbles this year. So hey, what does it matter? Enforcer is much better actually as a pass breakup technique. It will hit stick players, and maybe they will drop the ball. But if you have a good click on game, Enforcer isn't necessary until they change it, right? Until they change it. Strip Specialist, I would love to try this on a pass rusher, but we can't get there yet. So that's where like everything is sort of falling there. And that goes for corners and safeties. For linebackers, no one's really using linebackers anyway, so we'll just talk about pass rushers here now. Oh no, we don't need to go there. We need to go in. Pass rushers, obviously, edge threat is a big thing. People like to use edge threat. I think edge threat is good. I just find that the vast majority of people, over 50% of the games I play, maybe close to 75% of the games I play, people have had edge protector, and it essentially nullifies it. Right? It costs 1 AP to nullify 3 AP, so I'm not going to use the 3 AP. Just facts, right? Right now, nobody's really using Fearless, so that's why we are using Under Pressure. Okay? We use it twice. I use it twice, actually. So as we go through these things, again, these pass rush point, these block shitting points, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't really know what they all do at times. I don't. But I have tried this. I did not get more sacks when using Defensive Rally. I did not get more sacks using Double or Nothing. Edge threat, I did. Inside stuff does work very well. Sometimes they play themselves out of the play. There's a lot of run plays as well that you would think would be affected by inside stuff, and they're not. So keep that in mind. Inside zone is one of them, obviously. Goal line stuff. Again, what good does one player do? Not much. El Toro works well, but you got to use it yourself. No. No outsiders. Again, works okay for what it is, but worth 2 ability points? No. Speedster, Swim Club, all those things as well. Those are user rush things, and they do work very well as user rush abilities. But if you're not user rushing, don't use them. Against Stonewall, we talked about before. Reach Elite, tried it out. It does work. You know, they reach at times. That's cool. But a lot of times, unless you're playing a runner with exceptional stick, they'll probably just run into people anyway. So not really worth the point there. If you had an extra point, maybe Reach Elite, you put that in there in the middle. Maybe. Unpredictable. No. Unfakeable. No. Extra credit. Again, no. BOGO. No. I tried it with Aaron Donald before. Like, I legitimately took this like for 10 games because I was like, this has got to do something. I think Aaron Donald had a sack. Sacks restore all pass rush points. That's not bad. If you had a free point, you know, it's helpful. Mr. Big Stop, again, no. Ripper, Swim Club, again, Adam 08, no. And then we get back into these things. Now, obviously, the one that we've really not seen a lot of here is Run Stopper. Curious to see that. And Edge Threat Elite. Edge Threat Elite will be really good, but it's Edge Threat plus Under Pressure. It is. That's what it is, right? And it's the same ability points as doing them separately. So I don't really know where that falls. A lot of these abilities aren't great. A lot of them are, you know, fill in the blanks, like the Acrobat. I think Acrobat is really good. And I will throw it on people when I have an extra point here and there, right? Me personally, I don't play man, so I'm not really using the bench press stuff. We actually have extra ability points to use now this week. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm not 100% sure yet. But we'll pick some stuff and we'll do some stuff. And we'll make it work. I'm running double under pressures. It's an inside stuff. Secure tackler. And I guess two more acrobats probably. It's going to be my guess. If there's anything that you guys feel like is really, really good, let me know. If there's anything you want me to try or ask, if maybe I skipped over it, I glanced over a bit too much for your liking, let me know and we'll come back around to it. But those are the abilities. A lot of them are not great, and I'm totally okay with it. So I don't know. They seem to be less important, especially once bench press gets sort of taken out. Abilities or they're just there. So hope you guys enjoy it. I'm out. Peace.